Good evening, Raiders Nation. Welcome to Silver and Black Tonight, coming to you live from the shadow of the Death Star itself, Allegiant Stadium. I'm your host, Jax Harlan, and folks, what a heartbreaker we just witnessed in the desert. The Raiders fall 30-29 in overtime to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But hold on, because one man put on a show that reminded us why this franchise has always been about commitment to excellence. Brock Bowers, the kid from Napa, California, the former Georgia Bulldog who's already drawing comparisons to the greats. He came back from injury and absolutely torched the Jags. 3 touchdowns, 12 catches, 127 yards. And yet, no victory cigar. Let's break it down. Now, let's rewind the tape. Brock Bowers burst onto the scene in Week 1 like a silver comet. Remember that 80-yard touchdown against the Chargers? Pure electricity. But then, a knee injury. Not career-threatening, thank goodness, but enough to sideline the Raiders' offensive engine for weeks. The silver and black offense? It sputtered. Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell were throwing to ghosts. The run game? Non-existent. The Raiders scored 13 points or fewer in 4 straight games. That's not Raider football. That's not the legacy of Al Davis, John Madden, or Ken the Snake Stabler slinging it deep in the Oakland Coliseum. But yesterday, Bowers came back like he'd never left. Fully healthy. Explosive cuts. Hands like glue. He lined up everywhere. In line, in the slot, even motioned out wide. The Jaguars had no answer. 12 receptions. That's the most by a Raiders tight end since Darren Waller in 2020, and even he didn't score 3 times in a game. Bowers' third touchdown, a 14-yard dart from Minshew in the fourth quarter, tied the game at 29 and sent Allegiant into a blackout frenzy. The Death Star was rocking. You could feel the ghosts of Marcus Allen and Tim Brown smiling down. But here's where it stings. Overtime. Raiders get the stop. They march down the field. Touchdown. The crowd's ready to storm the field like it's Super Bowl 18. And then, the 2-point try. Minshew rolls left, fires to Jakobi Meyers in the flat. Incomplete. Ball game. 30-29 Jags. The silence in that stadium. Deafening. Bowers, ever the pro, didn't sugarcoat it after the game. Quote, "It's not a great feeling. You want to come back in here and celebrate with the guys. Yeah, it kinda sucks. You can't really celebrate anything. Ouch." That's the kind of raw honesty we love in a Raider. No excuses. Just hunger. Now, let's talk numbers. The Raiders put up 29 points, their season high. 412 total yards, most since Week 4. Bowers accounted for nearly a third of the offense. Pair that with rookie running back Ashton Jeanty, who's averaging 4.8 yards per carry and already has 5 touchdowns. And suddenly, this offense has teeth. But the O-line? Still a work in progress. Minshew was sacked 4 times. And the quarterback question? It's looming like a storm over the black hole. Speaking of the future, word out of the Raiders facility is that wide receiver Jakobi Meyers could be on the trade block. No extension before the season. Now, with the deadline looming, teams like the Chiefs, Ravens, or even the Commanders, desperate after losing Jaden Daniels to injury, might come calling. Meyers has 47 catches this year, a reliable chain mover. But if the Raiders are rebuilding, that draft capital could be huge. Let's bring in our fictional sideline reporter, Maria Valdez, who caught up with a legendary voice earlier, Hall of Famer Charles Woodson. Maria. Jax, I asked Woodson what he saw in Bowers that reminded him of his own era. He said, "Kid's got that Raider soul. He blocks like a tackle, runs like a receiver, and catches like he's got magnets in his gloves. Reminds me of Todd Christensen back in the day. If we build around him and Max Crosby on defense, sky's the limit." Love that. Max Crosby, by the way, the Mad Max, had 2 sacks yesterday, even in a losing effort. The defense forced overtime, but they're gassed. Only 11 healthy bodies on the D-line at one point. So where do the Raiders go from 2 to 6? Playoffs? Let's be real, mathematically possible, but the AFC West is a gauntlet. The Chiefs are 7-0. The Chargers just blew out the Browns. Even the Broncos are frisky. But this isn't about 2025. It's about 2026 and beyond. Bowers is 22. Janty's a rookie. Crosby's in his prime. Find a quarterback, maybe a trade, maybe the draft, and protect him. That's the blueprint. Raiders trivia time. Did you know Brock Bowers is the first tight end in NFL history to have 3 touchdowns in his return game after missing 4 or more weeks? That's now etched in the history books alongside the tuck rule, the holy roller, and the sea of hands. Next up, a trip to Cincinnati to face Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Can the Raiders build on this offensive spark? Will Bowers become the new face of the franchise? Drop your predictions in the comments. Raiders Nation, we want to hear from you. This is Jax Harlan, signing off from Allegiant Stadium. Just win, baby. We'll see you next week. Go Raiders!